All right, so if I was starting over from complete scratch, no money in my bank accounts, no social media followings, no real connections inside of the space, this is exactly what I would do to get to my first 10K per month in about 6 months or less. And I know if everything was stripped away from me right now, I had nothing but my phone and an internet connection and a place to live and sleep and eat food. If I just had that, I would be good to get back to 10K per month in 6 months, right? So before I kind of break down like what I would do if I started over, it's important for you to understand that I've actually been able to do something. So if you don't know my story already, about 3 years ago during the peak of the pandemic, I was watching video after video on how to make money online. Like I would see these dumb videos like, oh, here's the 7 laziest ways to make money online in 2021, or here's how a teen can make $100 working 15 minutes. You know, like those stupid videos that don't actually work. And like I had this insane desire at, I think it was like 17 or 18 years old, about 3 years ago, to just achieve greatness. I don't know where it came from really, but I just was so pissed off, seeing all these other people making money online and I wasn't. So, I would literally sit here, journal to myself every single night, like I will make 10K per month. I will make 10K per month. I will earn 10K per month. I owe it to my younger self to be great. And what I started doing is I started looking into a lot of these people that were creating these side hustle videos. And what I realized is that they all actually were selling something in their descriptions, whether it was their own course, their own coaching program, their affiliate links, whatever. And this realization is what kind of led me down the path that I started on, where I actually realized that the best way to make money online wasn't doing these trash side hustles. It was actually doing what these people were doing in the first place, where you create content on social media, you build an audience, and you sell them some sort of service, coaching program, or course. And I also realized from studying numerous people that the reality of the situation is, like, I kind of figured that if I built my skill sets right, I could make any business model work once I became the person worthy and became the person skilled enough. So this realization led me down the path of acquiring and refining as many skills as I could, because I couldn't just go out there and start creating content and building an audience and selling them a course because I had no skills and no experience. So this realization led me down the path of doing so. And for me, the first one I attacked was appointment setting, because for me, that was like the easiest way into the industry. For me, I started off as an appointment setter. I did it for about 2 to 3 months. And I started making between 2 to 3K per month, which was fairly all right for a broke college kid with no purpose. But then I kind of came to a harsh realization about 2 to 3 months into my role that the amount of money that I could make as an appointment setter could never exceed the business's performance of the weakest link. So what do I mean by this? Well, if you're an appointment setter and you get paid commission, you might be the best appointment setter in the world, but you might set an appointment for a closer that drops the ball on their sales calls. Or you might be an appointment setter for a bad offer, or an offer that isn't differentiated in the market and it's in a competitive industry. So it's like, this was like the next, so the first point is like, I'm pissed off because I'm broke in college. I started finding ways to make money online, started going fairly well for me. This was like the next breaking point for me. And this has happened numerous times in my journey. But like, this is my next point where I was like, all right, it's going kind of well, but now I'm pissed off again. Why? Because I actually couldn't make more money. I thought that I was doing quite well as an appointment setter. I was working my ass off, and I couldn't exceed the amount of income that I was making. I couldn't go past 2 to 3K per month. Why? Not because I was a bad setter, but because there were other parts of the business that were lacking. So I would set appointments for closers and they would drop the ball on those calls, or there was not enough lead flow for me to be able to set more appointments, or whatever the case, right? This realization led me down the path of, again, another breaking point where I became so valuable to the marketplace that I could assist the business I was working in with more than just being an appointment setter, which is what I call now a scaling operator. And that's what I help people do. This allowed me to start controlling my own destiny, raise the amount of money that I could make, And in 3 to 4 months, I went from making 2 to 3K per month, being an average broke appointment setter, still barely scraping by. It was a little bit of money for me at the time because, college, you don't really need to be making that much money, but it wasn't anything like I dreamed of or imagined or wanted out of this life. And after getting to this breaking point and becoming so pissed off and wanting to learn all the skills that I could, about 3 to 4 months later of actually acquiring and mastering and refining those skills, I started implementing those inside of the business that I was working with as an appointment setter to help them with more than just appointment setting. And this allowed me to take home over 15 grand in one single month as a scaling operator. Why? Not because I was the best appointment setter in the world. No, it's because I actually helped the business I was working in grow overall, and I was getting paid commission. So I got paid more of a commission. With this, in doing this, I actually dropped out of college. I continued operating for a little bit longer, and then I actually started a short form content agency in 2023. And I used the case study that I got from this business owner that I was working with to rinse and repeat that process with my short form content agency. And that allowed me to experience what I call explosive growth, where I went from being a 15K scaling operator. I realized that making 15K per month as a scaling operator was actually stopping me from making 50K per month as an agency owner. So I shut that down. I went all in on my agency. Was a little bit hard the first month, but quickly after, about 4 to 5 months later, we were doing 50K per month. This is a screenshot of us doing a little over 100K in a 2-month window. And you can see in the previous 2-month window, we were doing about 35K. So it kind of went like, I think it was like 0. So beginning, and then like my first month was like 5 or 10K. So I was actually making less, but I knew the potential was higher. And then I think I made like 15K, 20K. And then I think I did like 30, 40, 50, 50, 60 or something like that. Right. So that's my story, but now let's talk about the actual core essence of this video and this training for this video and how it relates to you, because I can talk about my story all day, but and I think it's valuable, but I want to talk about how you can actually get results. So first off, number one is mindset, right? So you need to take full accountability of where you are in your life right now. So you need to look at your life right now, and if you think it sucks, it's your fault. It's nobody else's fault but your own fault. Now, the thing to understand as well is if you want to get to a place, get to a better position in your life, it is going to be no one else's but your own responsibility. So take responsibility for everything in your life. Right now, it's your fault that your fitness is the way that it is right now. It's your fault that your relationships are the way they are right now. It's your fault that things are either going well or they're not, right? And it's important to understand this. Then the next thing you need to understand is volume negates luck. So if you want to get to your goals, you need to realize that the people that are currently doing your goals, like the people that are making 10K per month, let's say that that's your first goal, you need to realize that the only advantage that they have is they've just done thousands more of reps, right? So like when I think of the gym, I think the reason that people are bigger than me in the gym, it's not because they have like this fancy workout routine or this fancy diet plan. It's because they've done 5 to 10 times the amount of volume in the gym that I have, right? So volume negates luck. If you want to do great things in your life, 10x your goals and then 10x the amount of inputs that you feel like it will take you to get to your goal. And little tangent, little side note, this is the reason why most people fail. Most people, what they do is they start a service-based business. They do 10 outreach a day, not really much volume at all. Then after like 3 or 4 months, they end up getting their first client. Yay, awesome. They get their first client. They're super happy. They're super excited. Then they stop doing outreach, and then their client leaves them after 2 months, and now they're broke again, and then they go try another side hustle, and the cycle repeats itself. Okay, so step 2, once we kind of understand this and you're like, Trevor, I got it. I'm ready to go. Then step 2 is going to be working towards starting a service-based business or an info product business. And notice how I say working towards. We're not actually starting one of these right out of the gate, because your goal should not be trying to make $50K per month in your first couple months of running a business. You should actually cherish and want to play the long game. The fast ways to make money online are the same ways that can crumble fast. If you look at winning the lottery, you can win the lottery, but why do you think it is that some people win the lottery and then they go broke 2 years later? And this happens with like NBA players too. You actually shouldn't be going after making millions right out of the gate. What you should actually be doing is what I call skill stacking, which is what I did here, right? The first thing that I did is learn appointment setting, which is a pretty simple skill to learn. I'll talk about this in a second. And then the next thing I learned was things like offers, things like sales, things like how to generate leads so that I could assist the business in more than just being an appointment setter. And that allowed me to hit my first 15K per month. And then also, scale my agency. You need something in the beginning that meets the following criteria. So don't do like drop shipping or anything like that, because that's going to require startup costs. Don't run a business model in the beginning that requires a bunch of startup cost, please, or I will reach through the camera right here and grab you by the neck. Do not do that. Also, do not start a business that requires a ton of prior experience. I think dropshipping is another great example of this. Whether people would like to admit it or not, it does require a really foundational level of marketing experience to be able to do well in it. And it requires startup capital, unless you want to do the slow, organic way, which sucks. And then lastly, also has long-term scalability and potential. So I think the best thing that meets all of these things is by starting a service-based business and working towards starting a service-based business. But the best thing that I've found that could kind of lead into that is by starting off as an appointment setter or a remote closer. This will allow you to take home commission. It'll require no startup cost. It doesn't require a lot of experience. There's a little bit required, but it's really not that much. And it has a lot of long-term scalability and potential, because you can take your skills as an appointment setter and apply that in your own business when the time comes. This will allow you to take home commission as well, which is needed for you to become a millionaire, because because commission will allow you to be paid well for being good. And then the disadvantage of commission is if you're bad, you don't get paid well, which that should also light a little bit of a fire under your ass to get skilled enough to make money. Now, from my scope of the industry, which one of my consulting businesses or agency, whatever you want to call it, same shit to me, we currently work with about 200 to 300 different people in the industry that are service providers, info products, coaches, etc. From my scope of the industry and analyzing thousands of people in it, starting off as an appointment setter is the least difficult skill to acquire that can get you your foot in the door and you can start making money online with, that you can build off of long term. So again, we want to find something that doesn't have a lot of prior experience and no startup cost. There are a lot of great business models out there, and truthfully all of them work, but a lot of them require a lot of prior experience. In appointment setting, you really just need a fundamental level of just like how to talk to people. And for me, even I don't know how true that is, because when I was first in college, anyone who knows me personally knows that I was really introverted and I didn't really know how to talk to people very well. So it's like, even then, I was able to figure it out. And also, if you start off as an appointment setter, it's the easiest to be able to future monetize with in a service-based business. So there's 3 current problems in the industry that you can solve as an appointment setter. Well, actually, there's 3 problems in the high ticket appointment setting space. So if you're deciding to go after being an appointment setter, I'm going to show you now how you can scale that income from just being an appointment setter to making 10K per month. So number 1, there are a lot of setters and closers out there, but there aren't that many good businesses that actually need you as an appointment setter or closer. Most businesses do not have good offers and do not position themselves well in the marketplace, which means if you become a setter or closer for them, even if you're the best in the world, The income that you make will be limited due to the business owner's lack of knowledge. Number two is that only about 10 to 20% of businesses actually get enough traffic for you to be able to work with inbound leads. I actually, when I was first getting started as an appointment setter, I actually worked with outbound leads, and it is a terrible experience. I don't recommend it for anybody. You want to find a role in a business where you can get inbound leads coming to you, usually from social media and ads. If you find a role as an appointment setter and they tell you to do go out and find outbound leads, probably just quit. It's probably better to just work a 9-to-5 job, to be honest with you. If you know anything about the 80-20 rule, 80% of business owners fight over 20% of leads, and then 20% of businesses fight over 80% of the leads. Well, I guess they don't really fight. They get the luxury of being able to work with those people. So, and then the third thing is that most businesses' sales processes suck. So like, here is the sales process. You as an appointment setter, you only go in and solve this first piece of setting a lead into an appointment. But if the appointment isn't nurtured, if the appointment doesn't actually show up to their call, and if the appointment is handled with a bad salesperson or closer, that means that you won't be compensated based on your work as well as you deserve. So this, right, I still recommend starting off as an appointment setter, but don't just sit there and stay as an appointment setter, or you will be stuck just like I was, making $2 to $3K per month in an unideal situation. What you should actually do, these massive issues that I just talked about here in the industry prevent a massive opportunity for you to become more advanced than just your average setter or closer. This allows you to be able to actually go in and solve some of these issues by being a scaling operator where you can have full control over the amount of money that you make. And you're going to go in as an appointment setter to start, and then you're actually going to go in and assist the business owner in these other issues to maximize the money that you make in your role and truly control your own destiny. Why on earth would we do this instead of just starting something else? Well, it's simple. The main reason why this is applicable is because you are going to be building your skill set, which will be the highest leverage activity that you can do to make money forever. You're going to go in as an appointment setter first, which is a pretty easy skill to learn. It'll take you like maybe a week. Then you're going to actually start working for a business. And then once you kind of get it, and it starts to go well for you and you're starting to make a little bit of money, then you're going to start stacking more skills on top of that are going to help the business that you're working in grow. This is what I did, and it helped me make 15K, not 20K, as a scaling operator. Then this is where it gets fun, right? So you're actually taking the long-term approach where you're building a long-term sustainable business. But now, after you've built your skill sets, you can easily start an info product business around something that you're passionate about, or you can very well go down the agency route where now you've actually taken your services and your expertise as an appointment setter and other parts of running a business. Now you can actually get a case study from the business owner that you worked with, and you can be able to take that and go rinse and repeat the process for 5, 10, 15, 20 other clients a month. Okay? You can actually scale yourself out of your position, rinse and repeat the process for multiple businesses every single month. And again, this is exactly what I did step by step. And this is what I recommend. This is what I would actually do. I would just probably do it a lot faster if I was starting over from complete zero. I would first go in as an appointment setter. I'd land a role. I'd say, hey, I can help you convert your followers into sales calls, or hey, I can help you convert your leads into booked appointments. I would do that for a little bit, build some rapport, build some trust with the business owner, start to make some money. And then I would help them, because appointment setting is only one piece of running a business. I would actually start to look at other parts of the business and help that business owner optimize those pieces as well. And then it's like, boom, you can make more money as an appointment setter. as a byproduct, the business will grow. Then that transformation that the business went through, you can actually get a case study and a testimonial of that. Like, hey, I helped, this guy who's running this business go from making 20K per month to making 100K per month. You can actually take that case study and you can actually use that as a foundational asset for when you start your own agency. And I promise you, when you have that to support yourself selling your agency services, it makes it so much easier. And this is why order matters. Because I could very well tell you guys to just start an agency right off the gate. But number one, you're not skilled enough. And number two, even if you were, you don't have enough leverage. So we actually go through, build some leverage, build some skill sets, make some money, stack some cash away. Then maybe 4-6 months down the line of doing appointment setting and becoming a scaling operator, then you can start your own agency where you can charge $2,000 a client, rinse and repeat the process for 10 clients every single month, make 20K per month, or even more than that if you so choose. So yeah, guys, this is what I would do personally. I'm not trying to sell you anything inside of this video. This is like, if I started over again, this is exactly what I would do. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if it was helpful. And if you guys like videos like this, just drop a like, drop a subscribe, and you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.